Hey y'all, you're watching Best Life Now with Unique, and today is a super exciting video because in today's video I'll be doing a live numerology reading where I'll be demonstrating exactly how to do each calculation and how to go about interpreting each number. If you want a more detailed explanation on the calculations, be sure to check out my video for that, and I'll have that listed down below. And remember, interpreting the numbers really requires that you have some former knowledge and familiarity with each root number and each of the master numbers. And in order for you to get familiar with those numbers, I highly suggest that you go check out my playlist entitled Numerology numbers 1 through 9, so you can get a better understanding of each of those root numbers. And I also suggest that you check out my video on the master numbers 11, 22, and 33. They're short videos, so if you just listen to these from time to time, just have them on playing in the background, you'll begin to subconsciously build that knowledge of each of the numbers. And so when it comes to you interpreting the numbers for somebody else, you'll be really comfortable with it. And a huge thank you to my Thea Luce for volunteering to be my first subject on this YouTube video. And if you want your free numerology reading, please comment below "free reading" and I'll be reaching out to you with more details. Thanks so much for watching, and let's get right to it.
Can you state what your full name is, your full birth name, and also your full birth date?
Luz Campos. My date of birth is 7/4/65.
The numerology chart, the most important part of it is the 5 core numbers, which are your life path, your expression, your heart's desire, and your personality, and your birthday number. So those are the 5 core numbers. And if you want more information on the 5 core numbers, be sure to check out my video. I'll have a link to that video up here. And life path number, we calculate that by adding up your birthday. So we're going to take all of the digits in your birthday and narrow them down to a single digit number. So your life path number is a 5. And the life path number is important because it's the most prominent energy that you're going to feel throughout your lifetime. So when people ask you, what's your number in numerology, they're referring to what's your life path number. And you're a 5. Then your expression number, we use your name. So every letter in your name has a number that goes with it. And in your case, it's 338, 314, 761. When I add up Luz, I get 14. When I add up Campos, I get 22. And 22 is the master numbers. And the master numbers in numerology are 11, 22, and 33. And I also have another YouTube video that explains more about the 11, 22, and 33, so I'll put a link to that video up here. Be sure to check that out. And the 22 is super powerful because it means you have a lot of intuition and you're really good at taking all of your dreams. You have ideas and dreams and you're able to actually make them come to fruition. So I know you're my Thea, so I know you personally, and I know at one point you had a dream of becoming a stylist, a hairstylist, and doing hair, but you're not the kind of person that just talks the talk. You actually walk the walk, and you did it. And same thing with your nursing degree and going to school for that. And you didn't just talk the talk. You were like, I'll show you. And you did it. And so you are a master builder. With that number 22, you've got that energy, that power of being able to take a dream and make it real. So when I add up all your numbers, you get a 9 as your expression number. So we have a 5 and we have a 9. And then your heart's desire number, I'm going to calculate that by taking only the vowels in your name. So in your case, we have the U, we have an A, and we have an O. And then when I add those up together, we get a 1. Every time you get a double digit, you reduce it. Except when you come across one of those master numbers as your final number, you don't reduce those. And then your personality number, we add up all of the consonants in your name. And when I add those, you get an 8 as your personality number. And then your birthday number is just the number 4. That one's already reduced. So your 5 core numbers are life path 5, expression 9, heart's desire 1, personality 8, and birthday 4. So what this means, and I'm going to focus more on the 5 because, like I said, that's the most dominant, most important energy that you'll feel throughout your life. And it's kind of what you were born with. So not nurture, but nature. Not what your parents taught you to be, not what society has taught you to be, but what you were born with. And the 5, even when you draw the number 5, it's like, kind of reminds me of a roller coaster, because when you turn it on its side, it's just up and down and up and down. And so you're going to feel a lot of that whimsical up and down kind of energy throughout your life. It's a very, like a roller coaster, it's adventurous. So a 5 is a person who is all about change, adapting to change, because you never know what's going to come next. Is it the up? Is it the down? Is it this way? Is it that way? But you're like a chameleon. No matter what is thrown at you, you can handle it, and you can handle it like a beast because you're great at change. Any change or situation that's thrown your way, you thrive in those situations, and you actually love change, and you like to not be stationary, because when things become too the same and repetitive day in and day out, like you start to get a little bored with that, and you're like, I need to travel, I need a vacation, I need to do this, I need to go out with my girlfriends, I need to do that. So you like change, and you like adventure, and you like to travel. A number 5 likes to travel and have fun. Number 5s are like the life of the party. They are the social people. They are great at communicating. Some people might consider you a little bit more of a risk taker, because you are, but you may not see it as so much of a risk. Whether it's like a career choice, like in your case, making bold moves and bold career choices. People might be, oh, that's so risky, but you're like, no, I can do it. I can do anything. Number 5s are also known for being very sensual and sensual exploration. Good with all of their senses and tactical senses. So meaning like you like to touch and feel and experience, whether it's, going out just for dinner. You like to smell the food that's cooking and, oh, what's this? Let me try that. Oh, can I try some of your meal? Like you, tactical. So any kind of experience you have, you love and you thrive in more of the hands-on kind of experiences. Maybe even when you learn, you remember what you learned when you had that hands-on experience, as opposed to just reading a book, right? Like reading a book and seeing the information may not stick with you as well as having a tactical experience. Also, number 5s are known for having that high and positive energy, really good positive energy, and you're versatile and you love your freedom. And in relationships too, you don't want somebody who's trying to put you under their thumb, hold you down, tell you what to do and what not to do. You're okay with some, okay, I respect you, I respect this, and having some structure, but you really don't want somebody who is going to try to dominate and run your life, because as a 5, you need that freedom. 5s are also very compassionate and very caring people. And then your expression number was a 9. And so the way you like to express yourself, number 9s are very, very compassionate too. They're loving. They're like, oh, the love in the world. Like number 9s, and it's crazy because you're a nurse. So I was going to say number 9s are the kind of people that take care of others, and that's in you. And you have a 5 and a 9, so that's like double compassion, double the care, and double the love there. And so the one thing I would say to just be aware of is to make sure people don't take advantage of that kindness, because you have it in spades. Sometimes it's something you have to learn with time, but sometimes learning how to kind of put your foot down or set up some some healthy boundaries for you to have, and knowing when to say no to some people. Because you are so kind, some people might want to, or they might automatically think like, oh, well, go to Luce, you know, like she'll lend you the money or she'll be there for you. Just go to Luce. Like she won't say no. But having those healthy boundaries of letting people know, I know how to say no. Like I know how to say no and put my foot down in a nice way, but it's possible. And then the number one, the heart's desire is masculinity, it's strength, it's leadership, it's carving your own path, which you have a lot of that. But the heart's desire also means that maybe this is what you seek in people that you surround yourself with. So whether it's a relationship or it's your family or friends or people you hang out with, you like people who are also leaders and take charge of their life. And your personality is an 8, which is all about being business savvy and entrepreneurship, which I was like, this is perfect for Thea because of your hair career and doing that. You took a risk and you branched out and you were like, I'm doing this, and you did it. And now you have your own business and you're thriving and everybody knows you for what you do, for your skill and your talent. And you did that all on your own. You didn't need help, and you've made a little empire for yourself and your family because of taking that risk of being an entrepreneur. And so you definitely have that going for you with the 8 there. And then you have the number 4 as your birthday number, which is all about structure, organization. Again, like the 22, like being a builder and building that foundation, you have that. And that goes hand in hand with the number 8 that you had in your chart. And then now I'm going to just touch on the pinnacles in your life. And the pinnacles are kind of like the seasons, like the fall, winter, spring, and summer seasons of the year. A person has seasons in their lifetime as well. And your pinnacle number 1, I'm going to add your month of your birthday and your day, the 7 plus the 4. So pinnacle number 1 is an 11. Your pinnacle number 2 is the day plus the year, and your pinnacle number 2 is a 7. Your pinnacle number 3 is a 9, so we add the 11 and the 7 together, and yours is a 9. And your pinnacle number 4 is the month and the year added together, and we get a 1. So your pinnacles are 11, 7, 9, and 1. And then your challenges, every season of your life, you're going to have a different challenge that presents itself at the same time. So the pinnacle is going to tell you your strength that you'll have during that season of your life and what to expect. And then the challenge will tell you what to expect when it comes to like a weakness that you might be feeling or something that you need to overcome during that season in your life. And your first challenge is the month minus the day. So yours is a 3. And then your second challenge is the day minus the year, and yours is a 1. Your third challenge is the 3 minus the 1, so yours is a 2. And your fourth challenge is the month minus the year, and yours is a 4. So your challenges are 3, 1, 2, and 4. You might be wondering, well, that's great, but when do these seasons or pinnacles, when do they happen? And like, what season are you in right now? When I calculated yours, to get your first pinnacle, you subtract your life path from the number 36. And so your first pinnacle was happening from birth to the age of 31. So 0 to 31, you were experiencing the number 11, which is another master number. And 11 is known as the master healer. And I think it's so beautiful that your name is Luz, which means light in Spanish, because it's like your mama knew when you were born to name you Luz because of the light that you would bring to others. And from birth up until 31, you are a number 5, but you're feeling the energy of the 11 that whole time in your life. And you were probably growing up the kind of person that was the life of the party, but not only that, you were the kind of person that people were drawn to and they didn't know why. And even your parents, I could imagine that maybe I know you are the baby of the family, but maybe people are, oh, it's because she's the baby. Oh, it's because, she gets all the attention. And it's, I want to let you know that no matter what order you were born in, you still would have gotten all the attention. You're a 5 with the power of that 11 around you. It doesn't matter what order in the family you were born. With that 11, people feel like they can talk to you about anything. You probably still get this. People can come up to you and tell you all of their problems because you understand them. And people just want to be around you and have some of that good energy rub off on them. And so when you were 0 to the ages of 31, you had that power of being a master healer, and maybe you didn't even know it and you didn't even know how, but also you might have felt that you could almost like read people's minds, because with the 11, you would feel a lot of that energy of being intuitive, maybe being psychic, having great discernment of any situation that you're in. It's like you can read a room and you can read people very well and very easily. It comes naturally to you at that phase in your life. And then your challenge was a 3, which I find interesting because the challenge of the 3 is all about socialization and communication and our artistic ability. So maybe even though naturally people were gravitating towards you, maybe you found that you struggled with using your words. Maybe you're like, I feel this way, but I find it difficult to tell that person how I feel. Maybe you were a little shy, which is odd because you're a 5, but that challenge of the 3 was like maybe you people would gravitate toward you, but you struggled with, like I said, verbally telling them exactly how you felt, or maybe putting your foot down because, again, that communication, or maybe being a little shy and you're like, I don't know why, but being that 5, you would just go with the flow and you're very easy to get along with. And then your second pinnacle is a number 7, and that was with you through the ages of 32 to 40. So from 32 to 40, you felt the energy of the number 7, and 7 is a very spiritual number, just like the 11, but the 7 is more reflective. It's like you take a step back and kind of analyze your life and the situation that you're in, and you seek the truth, you seek answers. So number 7 is all about seeking truth, asking questions, and trying to find the correct answer. And so a number 7 is a point in somebody's life where they may have their come to Jesus moment, or is there a God? I think there's a God. And they start to dive a little deeper into questioning the world around them. They start to ask themselves questions like, what happens after death? Where do I go? Do I have a spirit? Do I have a soul? Can I prove it? They start to ask more profound questions about their life. And it can be that there was a traumatic experience or a big event in your life, maybe around the age of 31, 32, something that stirred up this number 7 for you. And then from that point, you found yourself asking a lot more deeper questions. That was from 32 to 40, and then your challenge was a number 1. So you found it maybe a little bit more difficult to be the leader that you know you are. Sometimes we forget, or sometimes those talents are hidden so deep down inside of us that sometimes it's hard to let them out. And you can have moments where you forget, like, I am born to be a leader. I'm born to be an entrepreneur. I'm born to like do all of these great things. And the challenges come along sometimes because we need to be reminded. So I feel like that's what the number one was at that point in your life, when you were asking yourself all of these really deep questions, that you were struggling at the same time with knowing who you were and remembering that you take charge of your life. But I know you did. And so I feel like you had all of these questions and this time in your life, right? These years, 9 years from the 32 to 40, that you came out on top because you asked the questions, you dug deep. It was just a season, and it passed. And then pinnacle number 3 was from ages 41 to 49, and that was the number 9. And number 9 is a very spiritual. You have a lot of spiritual numbers. So you have this natural ability to almost be like psychic. Like, you help people a lot, whether you realize it or not. People find it so easy to talk to you. You easily understand where they're coming from, and they can tell you anything because they don't feel judged. You're not there to judge people. You're there to talk with, to just let it all out, and they feel better after they do. So you have a lot of spiritual numbers. That 9, again, is that compassionate, motherly, caring kind of energy. And a 9 is somebody who you want to help the world. You want to leave this world a better place. So you were feeling that in 41 through 49. And your challenge was a 2. And sometimes you feel these challenges really strongly, and sometimes you don't because you've already kind of mastered that. But a 2 can be sometimes being a little bit, if it's a challenge, then you're a little bit insensitive. It can be struggling with maybe communicating with a person, or struggling with working together, because a 2 is really good at working together with another person or with a group of people. So if it was your challenge, then at this point in your life, maybe you were struggling with a relationship or something. I don't know, but there was maybe a challenge with working with other people. Maybe you were like, you're independent because you're number 5, so you love that freedom. And so if somebody tries to hold you back, then you can struggle with this because you want that independence, and rightfully so. I don't think that in any relationship it's healthy for one person to tell the other what to do or have any control. So I feel like that was going through your mind, the ages of 41 to 49. And then your current pinnacle that you're in is from 50 onward, and you are in a 1, which before you were struggling with like thinking about independence, and since you're in a 1 right now, that is your strong suit, is independence. From this point on, you're finding it easier to carve out your own path and to have that independence. Maybe you were a little confused about it before, but right now, more than ever, you're beginning to know who you are, and you're beginning to be able to put your foot down, and you're beginning to be able to not be afraid of all of that independence. And now you're at a point where you're like, I'm going for it. I know I'm meant to be a very independent individual, and I don't need anybody to rely on. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do. I don't need anybody to make decisions for me or to try to influence me in any kind of way. You're coming into this point in your life when you're like, I am knowing what I'm wanting, and I'm unafraid to go and get it. So that's the kind of confidence that you'll be living in for this season of your life. That's good, a good season to be in. And then the challenge is a 4. So what you might be feeling right now in this season is struggling a little bit maybe with like staying organized, having some more structure and a steady foundation in your life. But remember, you're a life path 5. So since you're a 5, I feel like that's always been a little bit of a struggle, because 5s are not known for having a lot of structure and organization. fives are a lot of fun, right? And so sometimes what happens with the five is they lack a little bit of that, like, do your homework, keep structure, organization. A four is like a drill sergeant. So they're like opposite, complete opposite of what you are. And a five also, oh, this is another thing I wanted to mention about five, because I mentioned all of the good qualities of the five, but every number comes with pros and with cons. And so I'm going to touch a little bit on some of the pitfalls, because it's important to know. That way, if you're aware of them, then you can turn them into strength and not weaknesses. You don't have to go through any of the downfalls if you're aware of them and you work on them. But a five, sometimes, you know how in society we're trained to go to college, get a job, get married, have the white picket fence, the 2 kids, and the dog, right? Like, we're all brainwashed to do that. But the truth is that we're all different. We're all different. We are different numbers. God created us all differently and uniquely. And not one of us is alike, and we all have different paths that we need to go down. And not all of us want to go to college, get married, get a job, have the white picket fence, the 2 kids, and a dog. Not all of us dream to have that. And not all of us dream to be married and with one person the rest of our lives, 50 plus years, whatever that may be. And not all of us would thrive in that situation. I think it's really important. And I think nowadays, I think the world is changing. And I think we're beginning to realize that everybody's different. And whatever your path is meant to be is beautiful. And it's just as beautiful as mine, even though our paths are different. And even though we have different ways of getting there, that it's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. And a five will grow up sometimes feeling all of that pressure of like, why do my parents want me to get married? And why do I have to settle down? And so growing up, you may have felt a lot of that pressure. And what it does is it builds up, like, fear starts to fester in your subconscious mind. So you may not even realize it, because subconsciously, that's not you naturally. The way you were born was not somebody who necessarily wants to be confined in any kind of way. You can be in a relationship, absolutely, but the secret with a five, finding a lasting, beautiful relationship and one that will last forever, the secret is to find somebody who accepts the fact that you need a lot of freedom and they're willing to grant that to you. In other words, somebody really laid back that is going to understand, oh yeah, oh, my girl, she loves to go and travel, and sometimes I go and sometimes I don't. And it's okay either way, and I'm cool with it, and I'm here for her, and all the fun things that she likes to do. You need to find somebody supportive, because otherwise you start to feel boring or repetitive or dull, and in your nature, you like adventure. You're like, no, you can't, don't hold me down, don't try to stop me. So sometimes a five can experience that fear, and also sometimes getting into relationships that don't really serve them, because again, they're thinking, well, my mom wants me to get married, my parents, I don't know, I have to get the white picket fence, it's just that pressure that we all feel on ourselves. And then what can happen with a five is that your energy starts to just swing to one extreme and then the other. And so where you have that healing energy and that energy that's really positive, sometimes it can swing and it can become negative. And then people might think, oh, she's a drama queen or king, and so you're like naturally this really positive person, but with that fear and that anxiety of like, I have to live up to this social expectation, it can start to swing and it can start to get negative. And then people are like, oh, she's drama. She's just too much drama. So it can go either way. It can be like very positive, healing, compassionate friend, or, oh, don't invite her. She's just going to create something, that's just drama right there. So that's what a five sometimes deals with not only the 5 but the 3. Every number has its ups and its downs. So those are your numbers. How do you feel? Do you feel that they describe you? Do you have any questions?
No, actually, they describe me pretty well. Actually, I'm surprised I never had this done or described to me in any kind of formal way. But yeah, it's down to the point. Exactly.
And do you have any questions?
Nah, you just caught me off guard. This is just amazing how it describes my name, my letters, and my date of birth and everything, my personality, and myself. So, no, I don't even know what to ask. Yes, it was really good. I really thank you for this.
Yay! Thank you. I'm glad you liked it, Thea.
Very, very, very enlightening.
Oh yeah.
Very enlightening it is, yes.
Well,
I'm
cool.
definitely gonna pass this on to my other friends so they can give you a call and open your eyes.
Well, cool. Thank you so
Thanks
much.
for watching. And remember, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to reach out in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want more content of this nature, numerology, all things mysticism, and spiritual, please hit that subscribe button and bell notification so you'll be notified the next time I put a video out. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.